Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you could meet me here again. You guys actually want to know about me. I've got a list of questions from you guys. I asked people on Snapchat, on Instagram, on Twitter. I hope this will help you guys to get to know me a bit better. And if you are not subscribed, subscribe now. Question number one is, what made you start vlogging? So I started a year ago, or just over a year ago, because I watch YouTube like crazy to this day, and I felt like, why don't I give it a try? And I would suggest going to my first video, which was welcome to Jade channel. So if you want to know more about that, I will leave a link in the description bar down below. Next question, what is my favorite food? My favorite food is curry goat, rice, not rice and peas, just curry goat, just sweet, juicy, falling off the bone. Ugh. Plantain on the side, maybe a bit of mac and cheese. It's just that good home granny's cooking. Lizzie Lee on Snapchat asked me, what are your 3, 5 and 10 year plans? Also, how did God become the center of all in your life? And when did you give your life to him? Okay, so 2 questions. So the first part, my 3, 5 and 10 year plan. Honestly, I can't sit here and tell you guys that I know exactly what I'll be doing and where I'll be in 3, 5 and 10 years. But there are some things that I'm 100% sure of. I will not just be happy, but I'll be joyful, be in love, great relationships around me, I'll be healthy, traveling, doing whatever career is out there for me that I'm supposed to be doing. I recently really learned how much I love property, and it all started from the searching. So I would love to be doing something to do with property, whether it be helping people or sharing my expertise. Hopefully I'll be an expert one day. I will definitely be some sort of property developer or own various properties and gain an income from that. And I also want to be a businesswoman, so I would say in 3 years I will be embarking on that greatness. Well, somewhere between 5 and 10 I'll have my own family, I'll be making moves with my husband and doing amazing things, and in 10 years I will 100% not be working for anyone else but me. I hope that helps. I can't tell you that I'll be this job role. I'm gonna create it. I don't know if what I'm gonna be is out there yet. And the second part was, how did God become the center of all in my life, and when did I give my life to him? I think I'm gonna actually do a separate video on my journey through Christianity and faith and even finding a church. I'll just basically say that I've always believed in God. I've never been a full-on practicing Christian until my older years, when life became a bit more real to me. January 1st, going into the new year, I completely opened up my life to him, and I just saw things happen. He is the center of my life, because I would be a fool to not have him that way. Nike Adebi, she said, would you say your career industry played a major role in your ability to become a lawyer? To become a homeowner early on? The only way my career could have helped me become a homeowner so early is just the pay, I guess. I don't think the industry necessarily had anything to do with it, because in the legal industry, wages vary. So you could be on 20, 30, 40, 50, up to 100. Taking opportunities where I could helped me. So this question is, when you feel stressed and overwhelmed with life, how do you relax? I do so many things. Okay, guys, I have to be honest. I get stressed so quickly because I put so much pressure on myself to always be great and amazing and 100 all the time. And I don't really let myself have downtime and recuperation time. So I do get stressed and I do get anxious sometimes. The way that I deal with it, I guess, is talking. I can talk for Britain. And if I'm not talking, I'm gonna talk to God, I'm gonna pray, read, I'm gonna watch funny movies. I always open notebooks and just write my feelings down. I don't let myself stop until I've got rid of the stress. I eat, I go to the gym now. I recently started going to the gym. But just kind of getting yourself out of the environment that you are stressed in, I think always helps. Okay, so this question is, how did you meet Bay? I met him through a mutual friend, and we got talking and we talked every single day and we just never looked back. That's how I met him. Another Bay question. Oh my gosh, you guys are actually so funny. Okay, best memory or experience with Bay. We've had so many amazing experiences being around each other. We are always guaranteed to have a great time. But I would say it's been the times where we've kind of taken ourselves out of our usual environment and like explored somewhere else. Our trip to Marrakech, watch that vlog, and that was amazing because it was something we had both not experienced and seen before, so it was like wow. Another really good experience though is early on in our relationship we went to Brighton for a weekend getaway, and that was the first time we kind of left London together and we had a road trip. We went to the pier, we had so much fun. It was freezing but it was amazing, and I will forever ever love that experience. Okay, so on one of my videos a girl called Isabel, well, she said she loves the video and then she said it was very much needed. Thank you. And she said, can I ask how long you saved for and how much roughly you saved a month? Also, your hair is amazing, where is it from? Okay, my hair is okay, it's actually getting done. I'm doing my hair, I'm redoing it tomorrow. No, I'm redoing it next week. I always buy Rosa Beauty hair. If you go on my Instagram, one of my recent pictures, I have tagged them. You can go on their Instagram and see all their pictures. They're on AliExpress. So saving, is that what she said? She said, how much did I save? How long did I save for? I have always saved, so I didn't just save in 2 years and have this amazing deposit for a house. I've always been a saver, but not, you know, seriously. But the past 2 years I had to get serious. Of course, the past 2 years is when I got a good job and was able to save a bit better. This is such a highly requested question. Monthly I saved a few hundred, something like that, but I would always try and do more and go above and beyond. And the closer I got to getting the figure that I wanted, I would put down a lot more. Obviously everyone has a different income, so do it relative to your income. And as I said in one of my last videos, don't overdo it because it will backfire. Okay, another really good question. These are so good. Okay, what is your advice to a young person without savings who'd hope to buy their first home? Save. Like, that's the first thing you need to do. You need to get serious and you need to get a plan together. You have to be realistic because you can't go and buy a house tomorrow or next year. Make a plan like relative to what you earn, and then you need to think of a target 5 years, in 6 and 7 and 8, and then you can kind of break it down and say, well, each year I need to have this amount saved. And there are loads of schemes out there, government schemes. There was a question that I got which was, did I use any government schemes and Help to Buy schemes? I didn't. I just went down the plain sailing, this is my deposit, please borrow me money. But you can do that, of course. Research those things. You don't have to have a crazy deposit. You have a certain amount and then they will fill the gap in. There's also like shared ownership schemes where you own a percentage of the property, so then you don't really need a huge deposit. The market does fluctuate and there may be a time where it will be really difficult, but I'm a believer in whatever you want, you can get it. Will me and my boyfriend ever do videos together? I will never say never to doing videos together. However, I'm not trying to be couple goals. Maybe, you never know. I'm not saying never, but I'm not saying yes tomorrow. You just have to keep watching and see. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, it says, would I consider meeting my subscribers for a more one-on-one talk to share my advice and tips on getting on the property ladder? This is so relevant because I cannot tell you guys how many emails, Instagram DMs, and even on Twitter and stuff like that. I'm definitely like up for that because my main aim out of anything is to help you guys. So yeah, I guess I would. Ooh, who is my favorite vlogger? Okay, so I think my favorite vlogger hands down would be Patricia Bright, and it's so weird that this question's come up because I was actually in her lovely company yesterday at a Next event, which if you have me on Snapchat and Instagram, you would have seen all the snaps. She would be my favorite because she just like, she paved the way. Another favorite that I have is Mimi and Alex Icon. They are just goals, and not relationship goals, but life goals in the sense of the way they think, the way they act, how positive they are, the things they believe in, their story of going from, you know, a very hard life in Toronto and then living in bloody Kensington areas in London. And then I have loads of other vloggers I love, but those guys are on a pedestal, 100%. I've got pins and needles. So I got these questions on Snapchat from a girl called Essie Kelewele. Okay, and she said, what country are you from? I am from Jamaica. Yes. Just to cut a long story short. Ghanaian jollof or Nigerian jollof? Well, I prefer Ghanaian jollof rice. Yes. Because growing up, I did not eat long grain rice. I only cook basmati or brown rice. I like Ghanaian jollof because every Ghanaian jollof that I've ever had in my life has been basmati. I'm not saying Nigerian jollof doesn't taste nice, but I just don't like the texture of the rice, that's all. Okay, don't kill me, don't kill me. What's your biggest inspiration? That's such a big question. I am inspired all the time by so much people, things, whatever. Biggest inspirational person is my mom. She is just amazing and she made me amazing. So I don't particularly look up to people because I feel like everyone is an ordinary person that did something great. You know what inspires me is seeing people's lives transform and seeing people go from strength to strength and do amazing things, thanking God and being so in love with God. That is so inspirational. And your last question was, any advice for young Christian girls on their walk in Christ? I don't feel like I'm in a position to advise young Christian girls. Like, I'm not a veteran Christian, but I feel privileged that you would want to ask me that, so I'm gonna try and answer it. From what I have learned and what I have experienced, never think that God doesn't hear you, because you see, when you say negative things, he'll say, okay, you want to be negative, told you you're gonna have, because I put that in your mind. Then you want to doubt it. Cool, doubt it then. You can wait another year, or you can wait another few months, you know. Just know that when you are praying, it's not falling on deaf ears. And don't just leave everything to God. He's gonna make sure that you are acting, and then he will react. You do your part and he will do his part. I've gone through some sad things. I've gone through heartbreaks, yeah, and that's one of the questions, have I ever been heartbroken? And God brought me out of it. So just know that nothing is too big or too small. That's all I can help with, because I don't know everything. I'm learning still. This is a question I literally got like just before I started filming, and this girl on Snapchat said to me, what would you say is the average deposit that you would need to buy a house in the outskirts of London? Because I was thinking it would be about 30k. I think the average is like 30 or 33,000 deposit. So yeah, you could definitely have a lower deposit or a higher one. It just depends on the price of the property. What's the worst day you've been on? I've literally got a list. I've got like 4, 5, 6. I've got like 7 questions here, right, guys? I went on a date with a boy that I did not want to go on a date with, but he kept on asking me. I really hope he doesn't see this video, you know. He kept asking me, and we were actually friends for years, and then I thought I'll just go. I didn't ask him to take me out, it was all his idea. And he got outside my door, and first thing he said when I got in the car was, I am so tired. Like, bearing in mind, this is when I lived in Northwest, because I'm from Northwest, guys, that's where I grew up, Northwest London, and he came from like south, like deep south somewhere. You drove all the way to like the other side of London pretty much to tell me you're tired. What am I supposed to do with that? But we ended up going out on a date somewhere else because the other place was too far and he was tired. In the end, when we got, I was just like, I ate quickly because, you know, I'm gonna eat my food. I was hungry, it was late. I didn't have dinner purposely because of this. His bright idea was, I should make a story time of this. Basically, his bright idea was to drive back to South, pick up his friend and get his friend, who was apparently really wide awake, to drop me back home while he was in the passenger seat sleeping. Do you speak other languages? I don't speak other languages fluently, no. I am a very British girl. And being Jamaican, we do not have a language. We have dialects, like we have patois, we have an accent. But I mean, to a lot of people, it sounds like a language, but it's not really a language, no. Growing up, I went to private school and I learned French and Spanish. And then in secondary school, I didn't take any of them for GCSEs, but I did it before you chose on GCSEs. I can't talk now, can't even speak English. I can say a few things in French and Spanish, but nothing fluent. And actually, those are things I plan on learning properly. French, Spanish, Yoruba, I don't, but I plan to. Favorite childhood memory? I have a good memory. I don't know if it's my favorite. I went to private school from the age of 1, and so I was really advanced and really well spoken. And I was a little madam, so I used to correct people. And you know, like when your mums have this one story, I mean, my mum has loads, but this one story she has to remind me of, like, because it makes her feel great. There was one time I was getting into a car with my mum and her friend was like, oh Jade, sit on the chair. I don't know what I was doing. And I was like, this is when I said it. It's not a chair, it's a seat, mummy. So that's the story my mum has to like share and tell everyone. I think that's my mum's favorite memory, maybe not mine. Do I have any siblings? I do have siblings. I am my mum's only child and I have an older brother and a younger sister. One of my bad habits, overthinking. Oh, guys, I give myself regular headaches at least once a week. Have you ever been in love? I have now. Qualities you look for in a partner: God-fearing, Christian, caring, loving, romantic, funny, motivated, inspired, creative in some way, family orientated, Basically, would I advise someone to leave their job for a better paying job that will help them get on the property ladder? I wouldn't advise you to do anything that you weren't sure about. If you feel that moving to get more money and you don't mind the fact that you're not really going to enjoy what you're doing is going to help you get a property, and if getting a property is what you really, really want, then I would definitely say do it, because you don't have to stay in a job forever. You can move and do something else and find your passion. And if you are considering leaving a job that you mostly enjoy for something else, then maybe that job to begin with is not actually what you really want to do, because there are some people that don't really mind the money they're on because they're passionate about what they do. Oh, this is cute. So it says, how do you balance work life, housekeeping, development, love life, social life, etc. And how do you always manage to look so balm all the time? Oh, and then she said in brackets, is it magic? I don't know. I don't know how I do it. I think the more you have on your plate, you sort of adjust, and then you're more able to handle those things. You don't have to feel like you're ready for something, but if God says you're ready for it, you are ready. A year ago, if I knew how many things I had to balance now, I would be like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know. Virtue Glamour on Instagram DM'd me. She said, I have a question. How did you avoid shopping and keep on with your saving? Because I have been saving, but I find it proper difficult. Or did you live at home and manage to save? So, two kind of questions. How did I avoid shopping? I avoided shopping because I realized that those clothes, those shoes, those bags from Zara, from wherever, was not going to help me get a house. I was in a position where I really needed a house because, second part of the question, I haven't lived at home with my mother for years. So I left home at 18 and I went to uni in Birmingham. So that's actually the last time that I ever lived with my mum. I had a really good transition. I always say this, going from home to uni to semi-living alone-ish with a family member, but not with parents, and kind of doing your own thing, to then buying a house. That was my journey. So thank you so much for those questions, Virtue Glamour, because I think a lot of people actually wonder, like, where did I live before this? Essay asks, when did you start saving for your house? So I touched on that. I've always saved, but religiously, seriously saving straight after uni when I got my first job. What are you doing currently job-wise, and what's your career goal? Career goals is I want to make my own career. I don't want to work for someone else. I work in the legal industry. I'm not a lawyer or solicitor or barrister. I decided not to go down that path. That should also be another video, but I analyze stuff with my legal background. And then she also asks, why are you so buff? You guys need to stop with this, because I have seen these girls on YouTube, okay? Have you guys seen my mum? You're gonna see my mum. That's it, guys. I've answered all of the questions. Thank you so much to all of you for submitting your questions, and hopefully I can do another one soon, because I actually really enjoyed this. I have reached and passed 1,000 subscribers. Subscribe so that you can see when the giveaway is gonna happen and all the details on what you have to do to win. Bye.